Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is our first video and we are excited to have you here. The goal of this channel is to provide you with the important and sure short questions for JEE Physics and Mathematics. These questions and problems are designed to help you understand the patterns and to solve problems more effectively. So before we dive in, let me introduce myself. My name is Ravin and I'm currently pursuing computer science and engineering at VIT Vellore campus. So we are here to make your JEE preparation easier and more focused. So stay tuned for a lot of valuable contents. Okay, so let's get started with this first question. So the question is limit n tends to infinity 1 square minus 1 into n minus 1 and it goes on to n minus 1 to the whole square minus n minus 1 times 1 divided by 1 cube plus 2 cube, and it goes on, and this is the question. Okay, so we need to calculate this limit value and then we need to equate it to these options, these four options, and one of them is the right answer. Okay, so this question was asked in JEE Mains 2024 on 6th April evening shift. This question is very important because it helps you to it helps you to think in a different manner as compared to the other questions. Okay, and for the new people who are preparing for this JEE mathematics, the some of the methods which I'll be discussing here will be very helpful, and you can add them to your formula as well, formula list as well. Okay, so first let's get started. Okay, so to solve these limits, first we will separate it into two parts. Okay, first one is the numerator solving. This is the numerator part and this is the denominator part. Okay, so first we are going to break down into numerator and denominator. Okay, and after that we will be solving them separately, and then finally we will be doing numerator divided by denominator, so that we will calculate the limit value. Okay, so this is the idea or the method which we are going to utilize here. Okay, so we will start by solving the numerator part first. Numerator. Okay, so here this is the numerator part, as I already told you. Okay, so first let us convert this into the general form. Okay, the general form is already given here, so let me write that here. N minus 1 to the whole square minus n minus 1 times 1. You may be wondering why this 1 came here. Okay, so always convert that 1 into the n minus 1 forms. Okay, so that we can arrive that into a general form. Okay, so always follow this, and for other questions as well, like you will be facing other questions in the examination. During that time, you always remember to convert this 1 into n minus 1. I'll be showing you here. N minus 1 to the whole square minus n minus 1 times, you can write this 1 as n minus of n minus 1, right? It will equate it to 1 again, so we can write this in this form as well, right? So that's what I'm going to do here. So let me rewrite it. So we can write this as n minus of n minus 1. Okay, so we wrote this 1 into this form. Okay, now I'm going to take a variable called r. Okay, let's assume r equals to n minus 1. Okay, so we can write this in the summation, as this is a summation question, right? So we can start from r equals to 1 to r equals to n minus 1. Okay, till that we can write this as r to the whole square minus r times n minus r. So this is the general form, right? So summation of r equals to 1 to n minus 1 r square minus r into n minus r. So this is the general form which we have arrived for the numerator. So let's solve this. R equals to 1 to n minus 1. Let's multiply this. R square times n into minus Rn, right, minus r cube plus r square. Okay. Now let us again simplify this. Summation of r equals to 1 to n minus 1. We will rewrite this in this form. Right, n plus 1 of r square minus nr. Okay. So we made this into this form. Okay. So this is the numerator part. Right. So now we will send this summation inside this equation. Okay, like this. So it will become minus 1 of constants will be coming outside of the summation, which is in the multiplication again. So r cube plus this also constant. Okay, summation of r equals to 1 to n minus 1 r square minus again n is a constant r equals to 1 to n minus 1. Okay, so this is the simplified statement. Okay, so now you may be wondering, like some people already got the idea how to solve. I understand that. Okay, because you have seen these kind of formulas somewhere. Okay, for the people who doesn't know, I'll write the formulas here. Okay, these are summation formulas. So summation of r equals to 1 to k. This is formula. Okay, let me write it properly. If you didn't write these formulas in your formula book, please write it, because this will come in handy during the examinations. Okay, so the first one is r equals to 1 to k r cube. Okay, so this formula is nothing but k times of k plus 1 divided by 2 to the whole square. Right. Similarly, r equals to 1 to k, r square means it is k times of k plus 1 into 2k plus 1 divided, wait, my handwriting, just a second, 2k plus 1, hope it is legible now. Okay, 2k plus 1 divided by 6, and then r equals to 1 to k. For r, okay, is nothing but k times of k plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, these are all the three formulas which we are going to use. Okay, now we know that k here is nothing but n minus 1. How? Because here we can see that r equals to 1 to r equals to n minus 1. So here the formula is nothing but r equals to 1 to r equals to k, right? Everything is r equals to 1 to r equals to k. So k equals to n minus 1. If you substitute that in these formulas, then you will get r equals to 1 to r equals to n minus 1. Substitute in this r cube, then you will be getting n minus 1 times n to the whole square divided by 2. Right, hope you guys are getting it. Similarly, r equals to 1 to n minus 1, r square equals to n minus 1 times n times to n minus 1. Be careful of this. Okay, you have to put n minus 1 here. Okay, many people, I have seen many people who always do some mistake there. So 2n minus 1, okay, divided by 6. Next, r equals to 1 to n minus 1. R, now it will be a normal r, so it's very simple, n minus 1 times n. This is complete whole, okay, don't forget it, divided by 2. So these are all the formulas, right? We have simplified this according to our need. Okay, so here I would like to give a tip. Okay, for these kind of questions, especially for the ones which is tending to infinity, like n tends to infinity, those kind of things. Okay, we always work with the dominant term. What is meant by dominant term? Okay, let me explain. Okay, we are going towards infinity, right? The limit going towards infinity. Then assume that there are totally three terms, okay? N cube, n square, and n. Okay, so here we can see that if the numbers are getting bigger, the limits are getting bigger, then n cube rises exponentially, right? Like not exponentially, cubic, right? As compared to these, the growth of these two will be very less as compared to n3, like n power 3. Okay, so we call this term as dominant term. Okay, and if we calculate this dominant term, then we don't need to calculate these things because these values will become insignificant, which means we can neglect them. Neglect these values. Okay, and focus on only this. You can calculate them, but it's it's waste of time, and you won't be having time during the examination, that too while solving some difficult problems like this. So always go with the dominant term. Okay, remember, if you want to go with the dominant term, always check n tends to infinity. This is a tip which I would like to give it to you. Okay, so now let's solve this. So I'm going to continue from here. Okay, so let's take this part we are going to solve. Okay, so just multiply -1 with this, right? Not with this, we have already simplified this. So with this, let me take some other color. Let me take green color for differentiation. So we are going to solve this. So -1 of n minus 1 into n divided by 2 to the whole square. Okay, this is nothing but what? This is the summation of -1 r equals to 1 to n minus 1 r cube. Okay, we are going to write like this. Now instead of solving these things, just calculate the dominant term. Okay, what will you get? This is n square. Okay, leave the small n because n square is there. N square is the bigger one, so neglect the remaining things which are not dominant. So the n square is the dominant one. So minus of n square divided by 2 to the whole square, because neglect it. Okay, remaining terms we don't need it. Okay, so just neglect them, and we will be getting minus n power 4. This is approximate value, not the correct one. Okay, not the exact one. Okay, so this is n power 4 by 4. So we have got the value of this. Okay, for the people who doesn't understand, I will just explain once again. Just multiply with just multiply it with this, so you'll get n square minus n. What I'm telling is just take this term and then neglect this. Getting it? So if you are getting a term like n square plus 3n plus 2, then just take the n square alone, leave this. Okay, similarly I will give another example. Just take 3n square, okay, 3n cube plus 3n square plus 2n plus 2. Okay, take the dominant term, don't ignore the 3, okay, because that is important. It's a coefficient, you have to include it, and eliminate these terms. So this is the dominant term, and eliminate these terms. Okay, so this is the idea. This is the basic idea for this. Okay, so the next term we have solved for this, right? Now we are going to solve for this. So here n plus 1 times of r equals to 1 to n minus 1 r square. Okay, this is what we are going to solve. So we can write approximately here also. Take this dominant term, ignore this. Getting it? So it will become like n of r equals to 1 to n minus 1 r square. Okay, you can write like this. So we have already computed the value for r square, which is this. Just multiply it. N times of n minus 1 n and then 2n minus 1 divided by 6, right? So here n times n, 2 n square, n cube, 2n power 4. Getting it? So this is the dominant term calculation. Like leave the other things. So 2n power 4 divided by 6 is the approximate value which we got. Okay, and then cancel out these things. So the dominant term is n power 4 divided by 3. Okay, so we got this as well. We solved this as well. And the last, we are going to solve this. Okay, so n times of r equals to 1 to n minus 1 into r equals to, okay, so keep this n as it is, and we have already solved for this. Okay, so it is n minus 1 times n minus 1 times n divided by 2. Getting it? So multiply this, find the dominant term, n square, n cube. So n cube divided by 2, right? So again, this is approximate value. Okay, so we got the terms for these things, and the main thing is, if you are writing, so just write the equation. Okay, write it in this form itself. So what you will be getting, minus n power 4 divided by 4 plus n power 4 by 3 plus n cube by 2. Okay, this is the simplification. So again, n power 4 rises exponentially as compared to n power 3, right? It rises very small. So when we go to infinity, when we again tend to infinity, this will become negligible. So always keep the dominant term. So I am neglecting this as well. Okay, eliminate this. So calculate only this. So take LCM, minus 3n power 4 plus 4n power 4 divided by 12. So it is n power 4 divided by 12. This is the answer for the numerator, not for the denominator. Denominator is yet to be calculated. Okay, so numerator part we have solved, and this is nothing but n power 4 divided by 12. Right, now we are going to solve for the denominator. Okay, so let's go for the denominator part. I'll change the pen color to blue again. Okay, so now we are going to solve denominator. Okay, so let me go to the question once again. Yes, so here this is the denominator part, right? So 1 cube, 2 cube, and then it goes to n cube, minus 1 square, 2 square, and it goes to n square, right? So 1 cube plus 2 cube plus it goes on to n cube, and then minus 1 square plus 2 square, and then goes on to n square. Okay, so now take the this is very direct, right? We can just directly write it as r equals to 1. Again, I'm going to put r term here to n. Okay, it's nothing but r equals to n, r cube minus summation of r equals to 1 to r equals to n, r square. Right, it's very direct. Here again we already wrote these formulas, right? See, r equals to k. Now here r equals to n is coming, so just instead of these case we will be using n, right? So use this formula. So if you solve this, r times of, this is cube, okay, so r times of r plus 1 divided by 2 to the whole square, okay, minus, this is for this part, r square. Okay, so for r square it is nothing but r into r plus 1 into 2r plus 1 divided by 6. Okay, now let's substitute with this with n. Okay, because we are going to put n here. Okay, because r is nothing but r equals to n, that is the upper part of the summation. So we will be getting n times of n plus 1 to the whole square divided by 2 minus n times of n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6, right? Again, simplify this. N square into n plus 1 to the whole square divided by 4 minus n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6, right? So we are going to use the law of dominance. So n square times of, again, if you square this, you'll be getting n square. So n square into n square is nothing but n power 4, and the denominator remains the same. So n power 4 according to the law of dominance. Okay. Law of dominance doesn't exist. I'm just keeping a name as law of dominance for you guys to understand. Okay. I'll just write it here. Law of dominance. Okay. According to law of dominance. Similarly, n into n square into 2n cube. So it is 2n cube divided by 6, right? And again, according to law of dominance, n power 4 rises exponentially as compared to 2n cube. So we need to neglect it as n is tending to infinity. So I neglect this term. This is not needed. N power 4 is our answer for the denominator part. Okay, so numerator is nothing but n power 4 by 12, if I'm not wrong. Let me check it once again. Yeah, n power 4 divided by 12, and denominator is nothing but n power 4 divided by 4. Okay, now as per our plan, it is numerator divided by denominator, as I already told you. Okay, numerator divided by denominator. So let's solve this. So numerator divided by denominator equals to n power 4 divided by 12 divided by n power 4 divided by 4. Cancel, cancel. You will get 3. So the answer is 1 by 3. Right. And it's in the option. The option is 1 by 3. Last option, option D. So this is the one of the important questions which I have seen in JEE Mains 2024, that too in 6th April evening shift. And I hope you guys understood the concept behind it. You guys understood the law of dominance and how we calculated the general equations and all those. So we'll thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video with another important question. Okay, thank you.